Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up young. And the Restless sees Victor Newman, Eric Braden, and all of Genoa City's power players at Kane Ashby's Billy Flynn Chateau in France, with no connection to the rest of the world. And clearly, there is something very shady afoot. We're going to talk about how Victor underestimating Kane could really cost him. Is Victor going to wind up framed for murder and trapped in France while chaos unleashes at his companies back in his hometown? The dodgy vibe of Kane's chateau party. A Young and the Restless plot analysis all right. So if you think about it, the whole vibe of this event that Kane is throwing is super dodgy. He lured every important business person in Genoa City to his chateau in Nice, where there just happens to be no cell service, which they keep talking about. So obviously it's going to be important to the plot. Kane could have thrown this party in America, in London, anywhere. But he chose this remote location, and I feel like it's because he's up to something and needs everybody isolated. So while Victor, Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, and the others are in France, out of touch with home, what is going on in Genoa City? Well, could be dastardly things, company takeover kind of things. Plus, we know from Joshua Morrow that there is a murder mystery coming. So someone ends up dead, or we at least think they're dead. Kane's clutches, devious plots and potential victims in Young and the Restless. So, with everybody in Kane's clutches, we've been thinking about some fun and devious things that could go down at this party and behind everybody's back in town. So, is Kane going to torment Victor and some of his other guests? The first thing we've got to talk about it, obviously Victor and Chancellor Industries, because Kane made this offer to Victor to trade him Dumas' assets for controlling interest in Chancellor Industries, and those assets are worth a lot more than that company, but Victor wouldn't even consider it. And Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, tells Victor she doesn't want to give up the company. She doesn't think Kay would want it. And Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, agrees. So the Newmans aren't budging. However, I think Kane is clever enough that he has got at least one, and maybe more contingency plans in place that he can activate in the very likely case that Victor was going to tell him no about Chancellor. And in fact, I think other than Kane looking at Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, that his primary target at this whole party is Victor, you know, and the Newmans. And I think Kane only invited the others just as a distraction. So maybe Kane was hoping Victor wouldn't realize he is the main target or the primary target, framing Victor. A murder mystery twist in Young and the Restless. So I'm thinking Kane might want Victor sidelined, so he's got time to do some sort of tricky takeover move with Chancellor. And with this murder mystery confirmed, you know, maybe Kane will frame Victor so he's arrested in France and can't even get back home. That would be a really cool plot twist, especially if Kane is framing Victor for killing him, or trying to. So, more on that in a second. The no cell phone thing also seems very unnatural, like maybe Kane contrived it so nobody can get a cell signal and check in on things happening back in Genoa City. So he's got them there, basically sequestered and quarantined. You can get a military-grade cell phone jammer installed for less than like 10 grand, which is pocket change to Kane Chance's invitation, detective work, or part of Kane's scheme. So things take a turn when he reveals to Chance Chancellor, Connor Floyd, that he invited him to the chateau because he's a detective, not because he's a chancellor, because Kane says he thinks someone is going to try and kill him by the end of the week. And of course, there's probably much more to this. Maybe Chance is there as part of Kane's plan to take over Chancellor, and this is a distraction. Years ago, Kane's dad, Colin, if I'm recalling my history correctly, he faked some additional pages to Catherine Chancellor's Jan Cooper will. Amanda Sinclair, Michelle Morgan, was supposedly Chance's lawyer for the case, but it turned out she wasn't. The new pages named Kane as the heir, and he took all of Devon Hamilton's, Brighton James, money. It eventually went back to him, and I think Colin was the one who had cooked it up. So maybe Kane and Amanda want Chance to sign something that could help undo Victor's ownership of Chancellor. Chance's fate. Heroic sacrifice or murder victim? And I'm also wondering, even though Kane said that someone's trying to kill him, maybe while Chance is looking into this, he winds up as the murder mystery victim because Connor Floyd is already at work over at Days of Our Lives. If you watch that soap or have in the past, he is taking Billy Flynn's place as Chad Dimera. And of course, Billy Flynn is playing Kane. So, it's kind of interesting. There's a little soap flip-flop going on. Connor Floyd has already started filming over at Days. So, he has wrapped his run as Chance on Y&R. So maybe he's leaving in a body bag. Maybe he takes a bullet for Kane if someone really is trying to kill the guy, or if Kane has set up some sort of fake thing and the shot's supposed to miss, but then Chance dives in front of it, which he's done before, you know. So Chance may die a hero saving Kane, or maybe Chance is poison, but it was meant for someone else. Romantic entanglements and potential hookups in France. No matter who dies or is the victim of murder or attempted murder, Victor could be accused of the crime. So, in addition to that, another wild thing that may happen during this party in France, I'm thinking involves Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, and Audra Charles, Zuleika Silva. So, we do know Kyle's tempted, and he gets closer to Audra. And I think Kyle might actually get very close to doing the deed with Audra, because we know some old feelings of hers bubble up as well, according to official Young and the Restless spoilers. But then, Kyle stops and feels horribly guilty for even getting that close to cheating. Audra may feel the same way because she really does care about Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic. A Young and the Restless, Claire crosses the line. Meanwhile, back in Genoa City, Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, might be the one to cross the line with someone else because Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, comes to Claire's rescue somehow, and she is very grateful. Then they wind up drinking together. Confirmed spoilers. So, I'm wondering if Claire's dad Cole takes a downturn and Holden is comforting Claire. Alcohol is involved. Claire's a lightweight. Maybe she overindulges, gets tipsy, wakes up in bed with Holden. I mean, she'd be horrified and terrified of losing Kyle. But it would be a big twist if it was Claire who cheated rather than Kyle. I'm also wondering if Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, and Kane hook up in France. They are both easy on the eyes, and there's going to be some attraction there, and Phyllis is determined to get Kane alone and pitch her ideas to him and herself to him. We know Kane really wants to reunite with Lily, but she told Kane he's delusional and she will never get back with him. And by the end of the week, Lily is making some sort of bold move with Damian Kane, Jermaine Rivers. So they might be getting frisky, and if that happens, Kane may get with Phyllis, if for no other reason than hoping to make Lily jealous. And showrunner Josh Griffith said Phyllis gets a steamy new love soon and professional success. Kane could be what delivers both of those because Red may vow to help Kane rise to power with her at his side. So, we'll see. Sharon and Nick, rekindling the flame amidst chaos? The last thing I wonder if it could happen at the chateau is Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, and Nick have a little romantic interlude. Have too much of that good French champagne, get tipsy and end up sleeping together during this trip. They keep gravitating towards each other, but Nick is afraid he'll hurt Sharon like he did in the past. But with the drinks flowing, no distractions and chaos and craziness going on around them, they may get wrapped up in each other and rekindle that spark. I cannot wait to see this murder mystery kick off to see whether Chance is the victim, whether he survives, who takes the fall for the crime. Will it be Victor who is framed and takes the fall? We'll see.